Isabella Roland. And wait, what'd you
From
say?
the top, let's go.
Hello. I'm Isabella Roland.
And I'm Siobhan Thompson.
I'm Alex Fernie.
We are the creative team behind
The greatest treasure in the world. So the greatest treasure in the world is about a man called Rufus Wainwright Bobbins III, who has just died. And instead of leaving his money to a specific person or group of people, he's instead left a treasure hunt for his nearest and dearest. And whoever wins gets the treasure. And we're huge fans of like Christopher Guest and Mike Lee and all of these directors who've made these great improvised, devised movies. And we just were like, why does nobody make this anymore? Let's do it.
So what we're filming right now is a sort of proof of concept / test run of what will hopefully be a feature-length version of this film.
The feature, the way we're looking at it, we're like very inspired by a lot of different things, both comedy and not. Like we talk a bunch about Christopher Guest, obviously, because this is in the documentary format, and specific things like Waiting for Guffman or Best in Show, which are so character-based. And that's something we want here too, right? Like this treasure hunt is what's happening, and the characters are why we care. And because we have all these great actors, we really want to let them dig into that.
Siobhan and I come from a wonderful show called Dimension 20 at dropout.tv that is a Dungeons & Dragons show, mostly.
Yes, and as an actor, it is so satisfying to create your own character, and it's one of the things that I love the most about Dimension 20 is to come up with this idea collaboratively and have everybody play off of each other. But then go away and do that work sort of on my own.
So what we did was, if even in a home game, you work with the DM and you work to see what the setting is and what inspires you, what kind of person or creature you want to play in Dungeons and Dragons. And so with this, we said we have this really wonderful plot that Siobhan came up with. We were like, okay, what type of people are inspired by this setting? And so we had like individual meetings with each, and then got to be like, we want these specific comedians for the role. And then as opposed to sort of like saying we have the character, let's have people send in self-tapes, we said we want this person and let that person inform what kind of character they want to play.
And we were a little nervous about it because even though it works well for D&D, we didn't quite know how it would work for this, but I think it's been exceptionally useful and like all of the actors have been really excited to do it. I think it's been like a really, really fun process.
And another thing I think perhaps people don't know, kind of like behind the scenes and in like comedies that do get made in Hollywood is you never get to rehearse.
Never.
You never get to really like figure it out on its feet.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're doing. We get to do this, we get to do these tests, we get to actually have real rehearsals to find these characters and make them as lived in and as funny and as real as possible. Again, like working more like a troupe, working more like a theatrical troupe to discover this all together. And that's something that, again, is just like so exciting to do because it really is building this thing from the ground up with a bunch of really interesting voices as opposed to here's one thing, see what you can mine out of it.
Yes.
Siobhan and I got together and said, who are the funniest people we know?
Yes, and then we couldn't get those ones, so we
got
had
the psychopaths.
So we got the crazy people.
If you cast people that you can trust, then
Who
you can trust them.
Who are also writers and producers.
Yeah, everybody is so multi-talented and frankly underused in whatever it is that they're doing day to day.
And a part of why, we wanted it to be partially improvised is that in that collaborative ensemble, a lot of the excitement, I think, comes from going, oh my God, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
And then everyone gets to build off of an amazing idea that someone else came up with on the spot. And it makes for an electricity on set where when we know the type of scene that we want to start when Alex says action, but when you see someone that you've already admired for years say one of the funniest things you've ever heard and you had no idea they were going to say that, it's absolutely thrilling.
It's magical.
there is a real hole in just entertainment now of like films that were labors of love that didn't cost a lot of money, but became something great. This project is something you don't really get to see that much, that people don't get to make, and to the point where we have to make it ourselves. Yeah.
And that's where you come in, is helping yourself see this movie by helping us make it.
In order to have a happy, functioning, successful piece of art and workplace, everybody needs to be paid fairly, and that's what we want.
Money for this goes into making something that doesn't get made anymore. And I think, you know, what we have, we will use to be able to, like, you know, expand the scope of this film and kind of determine how big and silly we can get.
And we, in having the privilege to make something even as small as this, get to show what full creative control looks like.
Yes.
Even on the actor side and crew side, like, it's extremely important that, like, artists and funny and talented people get a say in what gets made.
Couldn't be more excited about it. It's really in the world of all of my favorite big ensemble comedies where everybody gets to be so funny and so specific.
There are all these comedies that when we were weird kids helped make us into the people we are now, and we want to make the thing that the weird kids now get to watch and get to love and get to talk about and get to fail to explain to their aunts and uncles.
Yeah, if we can make a movie that gets annoyingly quoted by 14-year-olds in the playground.
I want your worst nephew to be like,
that's all you want.
That is
talking about this movie.
My dream.
He sucks. He spends all day talking about how Fortnite sucks, but he also plays it all the time, and he's so mad about the Sabrina Carpenter skin. And then this is the only other thing he'll talk about. That's the goal.
Every day that we've been on set has just been a dream.
I really can't wait to make this movie.
Yeah, and then share it with all of you.
Me too.
Natural.